A few weeks ago, we celebrated Memorial Day. And in the United States, Memorial Day is a time to give thanks, a time to remember, a time to say, man, we appreciate those that have served, those that have given their lives for our freedom. It's a great day just to celebrate the freedoms that we do have. But the idea of memorial isn't just a couple of hundred years old. The idea of memorials go all the way back to the Old Testament. It was a time that as the Israelites gained their freedom, as they crossed over the sea, God said, stop here, take these stones and build an altar to worship. And then when future generations come, you can tell the story again. Tell the story again of how great I am. And say that they obeyed. And so all the future generations now knew the greatness of their God. And they could tell the story again of how God freed them and set them free from captivity. Well, we have taken this concept of memorials and incorporated it into the lives here at our house. If you were to come to our house, you would see several things, a couple of shadow boxes full of memorials. Let me turn this around and show you. Each one of these items represent something different, something about God's character that we can tell the story again. I just want to give you just 3 quick stories. The first one is this diaper. I want to give you the actual size. It's just a couple inches long. But that's Caleb's first diaper. Many of you have heard the story before, but Caleb was born an extreme preemie at 1 pound, 11 ounces. This is the story of a miraculous God. You see, at 1 pound, 11 ounces, at 25 weeks, he was only given a 50% chance to live. He was given a chance, and they said if he does live, there's a great chance he would have tremendous disabilities. But our great miraculous God said no, he's going to beat all those odds. Well, this coming fall, Caleb will graduate from the Culinary Institute of America, and we will celebrate that with him. No learning disabilities, top in his high school class, went on to college, and we're going to celebrate the miraculous God that we serve. The second story, you see a snowmobile. This is the story of God's sovereignty. The fact that God protects us even when we don't know that he's protecting us. You see, we used to ride a lot of snowmobiles all the time. And the fact is that there's many times we'd go out at night and go riding in familiar trails. Well, this one night, there were several of us that went. And we took a trail that we didn't know. And we went on that trail, and it kind of had a little bit of a climb. And so as you got to the top, there was these down trees that wouldn't allow us to go any further. Well, we didn't think much of it, so we turned around and went back home. Well, a few days later, we rode that same trail, and we went up to those trees, got off our snowmobile. With about 10 feet after those down trees was about a 30-foot drop off. If those trees weren't there, if God hasn't protected us, we wouldn't have lived past that night. We serve a sovereign God who protects us even when we don't know. The last story that I want to share. Yes, that is a cell phone, but it's the story of God's leading. You see, when we don't know what to do, when we're confused by circumstances, God still guides us. We were living in Columbus, and we had an opportunity to move back here. And it was a tough decision. We enjoyed our life in Columbus. We enjoyed our church in Columbus and what God was doing there. but we also thought it would be good to come back home. And we were torn. Bitsy and I just didn't know. And said, God, give us a sign. Tell us what your path is for our life. Well, the only thing that happened was a phone call from my brother, who asked us how we're doing, what we're going to do, and if we knew. And at the time, honestly, I didn't think much about it. But as we thought about the decision later, we said, you know what? We asked God for a sign, for a call. And the only call that came was a call from home. And we took that now as an answer to prayer. You see, God leads, God protects, and God is a miraculous God. I would encourage you to set up these memorials in your own home so you can tell the story again of how great God is.